Fellas, don't walk but run and go get a paternity test.
Yeah,
Because a woman will mess with you and be already pregnant.
true.
She said, ooh, who's the weak link? Him right there. Hurry up and throw that. Be already 2 months pregnant. You wondering, like, the baby come kind of early,
How
huh?
come?
Better start doing that math. That baby come kind of early, huh? That baby a good little size. Yeah, that mother's already pregnant. Don't walk. Run. Go get them babies tested. Look at paternity court. Look at all them women that was lying to their kids. Talking about, he didn't call you, he didn't love you. Putting all them negative thoughts in their kid's head. He didn't love you. They ain't even they goddamn day.
Okay, so all these problems could be prevented if you are able to get a paternity test right after the baby is born, before you even sign the birth certificate.
What's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud?
I think that paternity tests should be government mandated and required before signing any kind of birth certificate. Let's talk about it. Now, before y'all attack me for siding with males, just hear me out. Because to me, the need for a paternity test runs far deeper than trying to see if somebody cheated or not. Because think about it. While women do not have too many privileges in our society, one privilege we do have is the concrete, hardcore, physical evidence that the baby growing inside our belly is in fact our baby. But yet the only proof that the father has that that child is his is to trust that she didn't cheat on him. And to me, there's a huge imbalance in those two forms of proof. I can't touch trust. I can't feel trust kicking in my belly. And when it comes to a life commitment such as parenthood, I know if the shoe were on the other foot, I'd want more concrete proof than just trust before I commit to a commitment of that magnitude. And while
Especially with the implications that come with the child, where if you're not married, you have to pay child support. And if you're married, you have to take care of that child and love that child as your own, because that's the information you're working with. But what if it was otherwise? The whole scenario changes here.
this is nuanced and can make for some very dramatic deliveries, I think it's needed.
Where from 5 to 30% of the general population, men are raising and paying for children that are not theirs and don't know. According to the American Association of Blood Banks, between 25 and 30% of the males who are accused of being the father, they take a paternity test and find out they did not do it.
Are you for mandatory DNA testing at birth?
I am absolutely on record as saying that if we want to prevent the problem of having men challenge paternity later down the road, then let's apply a proactive solution. Automatic DNA testing at birth would work to help two things. One, we would assure that the right parents were named on the birth certificate. Two, it would stop paternity fraud and take the profit out of paternity fraud.
And the third one will be to prevent the child from having the trauma or having issues to understand that, or come to an understanding that the person he or she's been calling dad, father, it's not their biological father. Imagine you're 12 and you find out that your actual father or dad is not your biological father. You seem like you're saving a lot of children from such problems as they grow.
So many women's groups say this wouldn't be fair. You're acting like you don't trust the mother. Why do you think they say that?
It's a red herring. It takes away from the focus of, well, who's the one person who has all of the information about potential fathers or the paternity candidates? It is the child's mother.
Yes.
And currently, in most places, she has no duty to disclose that, well, wait a minute. Well, my husband's not really my child's father. My boyfriend is. Like, well, wait, lady. But you're married. You forgot that you were married? No.
I had two guys call in. They work at DNA testing centers. One guy had to quit. One guy still works there. He told me 40% of the children are not the man's child.
40%.
40%. He said 40%.
That's a high number if you're looking at it like of those people that go for paternity tests, that's a very high number. Now, how about the people that don't do these tests? If we were to extrapolate, we look at married people, how many kids they have. We extrapolate on that population, you see that, oh man, it's wild out there.
Okay, listen, y'all. So, as I'm supposed to be working, Mind your business. Ain't got nothing to do with you. But anyway, I was on IG and I seen a clip that it said that women may feel like their rights are being compromised because they're trying to come out with something where men have the right to get a DNA test as soon as the child is born. But what I'm trying to understand is, how is the women rights being compromised when soon as the baby start crying, you filing for child support? How is your rights being compromised when you're requiring them to care for this child? Like, I'm not, it's not making sense to me. The only people that's would have a problem with this is these fuck women, okay? And quite frankly, I feel like men should have a DNA. It should be automatic. It should be a law.
If you want to take a DNA test or have been thinking about taking a DNA test, you need to listen to this first. So a few weeks ago, I read the terms and conditions of most DNA kit companies, and I made a video on that. So if you haven't seen it yet, make sure to watch it. Most of the DNA companies that I came across can distribute and sell your DNA data, which basically means most of these companies can sell your DNA data and make money off of it. Examples of places where DNA companies can sell your data is to insurance companies and pharmaceutical companies. So what does this mean for you? And sorry, I'm folding my laundry right now. This means that it is so vital for you all to use a DNA company that allows you to, one, be the sole owner of your DNA, meaning no one else can own it. Also, you need to make sure you use a company that allows you to completely wipe your data from their platform, and it's wiped forever. And most importantly, in that company's privacy policy, it needs to say that they will never ever sell or
But they
license
always
your
do
DNA
it.
data.
I mean, they always do it somehow, somewhere. They always do it. Even if there are laws, I'm not saying they disregard laws, most of these companies, but they find a way to get data on individuals. And I mean, it's if you don't want your data to be gotten, you have to be off any of these platforms, be it social platforms or whatever. Like, data will be gotten. So it's always the case, but that's not going to prevent men from wanting to test their newborn kids.
Whoa! They ain't ready. They are not ready for this story. There's a bill out of Memphis, Tennessee that's being proposed for. It makes it mandatory for unmarried fathers to take DNA tests to sign birth certificates. You know what that means, fellas? That means that you ain't got to worry about, you're the father because I said so. What if I'm not the father? You ever thought about that? So what you're saying is that you're not going to take care of us? Oh, this is not your baby now? I wasn't with you for these past 2 years? I'm not saying you was with me for the last past years. I know that, but who else were you with? Oh, I see what you on. The only thing I'm on is to find out if this baby is mine or not. So, you know, there's a lot of guys that have lost out on so much time because they've been taking care of kids that weren't theirs. Not saying that's not a problem to do so, but at least give me the right to know if that's my child or not. I just hope that this bill makes it to be law. It's just something that personally, for me, is very important to know that this is happening now, because for so many years, it just seems like guys have not been getting the break they needed.